Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Season 2 of the Lightsoutco pod. I'm your host, Chris, and I'm here with
Matty Y.
Matty Ice on the mic. Yes, sir. But as you guys can tell, it's a little bit of a different setup. We're here for Season 2 with our new and improved little podcast setup. Still doing it from, my good old room, which is, the studio for right now, and we're okay with that. But thank you guys so much for the support on Season 1. We really couldn't have, invested in ourselves without you guys. You guys really made us believe that we can really make this a weekly thing and, do some cool things with it. And we're more than happy to bring you guys Season 2. So without further ado, let's get into it, Matt. What do we got on the plate today? Because it's just me and you. So it's kind of be a little bit organic conversation, So
Right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yes, so we're talking about, obviously we're going to kind of revamp the whole mental health discussion. We're going to be talking about environments. Both of us have been, well, actually, I know you've had some time off, so you have not been working currently with our job shutting down for renovation. However, although while I'm still not working at the gym, I'm still working at my other job. So we're going to kind of talk about some time off, what the time off has done for you, and what picking up hours for me has actually done for me. So while you've been taking the time off, I've been actually picking up shifts.
Yeah, so we're in opposite kind of perspectives right now, just because honestly, this is the first week I've had off in over a year. So very, very well deserved, in my opinion.
Yes.
I think the last time I had so much time off, I was in quarantine for COVID. So
Going on
this
like
time,
2 years.
right? So this time I'm excited to have some time off. With that time off, I actually went to Maine with my girlfriend Sage. We actually had an amazing time. Shout out Sage.
Shout out.
But yeah, we had an awesome time in Wells, Maine. Honestly, I think next summer we should all try to get a spot up there like that.
You were hyping it up.
That would be just such a chill spot to go with all of us. But if you guys have ever been to Wells or York, Maine, you know that that's a spot. Like, it's peaceful there. It's awesome. And
Good views.
And you honestly don't even feel like you're around, the local area. Like, it doesn't feel like you're in New England, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It feels like you're a little bit,
Secluded.
away. Yeah, secluded on an island or something. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I've enjoyed just, kicking back. Of course, enjoying a vacation is nice, but part of a vacation, in my opinion, is just spending time at home, just doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And I've done nothing this week, but productive nothing. You go out to the gym at the time you want to go. You go out to eat when you want to go out to eat. You don't really have a schedule, which is nice. Yeah. So I'm sure it's been different for you because you've kind of been on kind of a tight schedule. So
yeah.
With me, it's kind of like laid back. Time's not a thing, but for you, I'm sure there's got to be a time when you're at work, time when you're leaving work, and
still on the clock.
Yeah. So I don't know how it's been for you, but just kind of reach into that.
So, I mean, honestly, I can't even remember the last time that I've been on a vacation, to be honest. Even if it was just slightly out of state, Mm-hmm. I have, my days off. Now, with my current schedule, it was just like 1 day off per week,
right?
Which I was cool with. Something to look forward to at the end of every week. But
and you're running on no days off, pretty much.
Right now, I'm running on no days off, so working 7 days a week. Adjusted schedule for the 2 days that I kind of picked up shifts for, but kind of like what you were going along saying with productive days off, or productive days where you don't work. For me, it's like when I have my day off, or if I were to have like an extended time off like that, where I'm just like, not on vacation, or just like, just not doing anything. Like, I don't have a schedule. That always God.
Messes with your mental?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So staying busy for me is like what keeps me
sane.
Yeah. When I have my day, say like I have my 1 day off and I have absolutely like no plans, I'm like lost.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find stuff to do. Like, I'll go to the gym and work out. That's kind of like the highlight of my day. But if I have nothing else to do, I'm so lost. It's like, man, I'd rather be at work right now.
Honestly, I 100% agree with you, because like the last 3 days going to the gym and then getting Starbucks and then finding out what to eat has been the number one thing that I've been trying to like look forward to, and then when it's over, it's over. Like yesterday, I look forward to Chick-fil-A breakfast. Like I was like, oh, I'll be before 10:30. Let's go get Chick-fil-A breakfast.
Yep.
So, you know, when you don't have a lot to do, sure, you don't really look forward to much. It's just really one highlight of your day.
Yeah.
So I think that's why when you are staying busy, when you do have, you know, nights where you go out and hang out with friends, it makes it that much more cherishable and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, even like, it's no excuse because there are plenty of things that I could do even with these days off. Like say I had no plans, there's plenty of stuff I could do. It's just like I don't have that motivation. The only motivation I have is to like go to the gym, where, you know, I play guitar and stuff like that, and I find that to be one of my favorite hobbies. But it's like to physically sit down and like just, it's like
Get into it.
right, like get into the flow and try and learn something new, or just to like practice. It's like, yeah, I can do that for like an hour, but then it's like, all right, what's next? But you know, so I feel like there's different ways that people kind of cope with it, and I can say with my job, I enjoy it to the point where it's like I could go there 7 days a week. You know, like I'm fortunate enough where, you know, it's something that I kind of, I don't want to say look forward to, but it's something I can definitely tolerate. Whereas I know some people, their jobs, they just want to, like, just think of the gym, you know, working at the gym. Like, you don't want to be there 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
That's somewhere where you want to go in, do your shift, get the hell out.
Like Mondays and Tuesdays, 10-hour days. These Mondays and Tuesdays, I was like, just sitting back, I was like, dude, I've spent so much time and endless hours there just like doing nothing, it felt like. So
yeah,
it felt better to be not work, even as bad as it sounded. I wasn't making money, but like, you don't want to be at those jobs for longer than 8 hours a day,
right,
7 days a week, you know,
right.
Like that's drooling.
The biggest catch for me during this time, since I'm not at my other job, I'm missing out on a paycheck. So it's like, all right, so I'm not getting this source of income for one of my pay weeks, because it's good. With the gym, it's I get paid 1 week from the gym, and then the next week I get paid from my main job.
Right.
So I'm always, each week I'm getting a paycheck.
Damn.
So now it's like,
You living that life.
right. So now it's like, oh, I'm going back to bi-weekly since we're
All right,
renovating.
welcome back to like real life. This is how everybody else lives,
Right.
bro.
It's like, damn, now I got to live bi-weekly. But the overtime at my current job is like amazing. So what I make in 1 day of overtime is pretty much what I make bi-weekly at the gym. So it's like,
Wow.
you know, 4 days at the gym is equivalent to 1 day of overtime at my current job. So
Wow.
obviously the money is an incentive, but like I like what I do as well. So it kind of makes up for the fact that I don't have any current days off. But like I said, at the end of the day, that's what keeps me mentally kind of
Keeps you
in
grounded.
there. Yeah.
That's most important. I think that's kind of why I worked so much last year, because I was in a kind of a dark place, and
Right.
I was like, okay, let's just try to work a lot, and working does solve your issues for, you know, the time being, but
Right.
and obviously time off's important. I knew we were actually supposed to go on vacation together this past weekend, and it didn't end up working out.
Flights have just been crazy, and travel and TSA.
It's just one of those things where the risk was not as filling as the reward. The reward just, you know, going out and having a great time, sure, but we can do that another time. I feel like it just would have been a bad time. But again, instead of, you know, planning for a vacation, you plan to pick up hours at your job.
Right.
And kind of that's like a mental shift, because I know me, I was looking forward to my time off. Did you kind of never think about time off? Did you just kind of keep like that?
I was worried about, I was worried because again, it's only 2 days that I'm missing out on work, but it's like, damn, like what am I going to do? If
so amount of dollars that I'm not going to make. Yeah,
right.
That's how you feel about it.
I mean, it sucks that I kind of equate it to that. Like, oh, like people always say, oh, you know, you have your whole life to make money, but it's like, I'm young. I have the energy to kind of stay these longer hours and stuff. So it's like, why not work while I can, and then kind of make the money now, slowly build it up over time. So when I'm older, like, oh, I can retire a little earlier, or I'll have more money.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah, man.
The goal is to be financially free.
Chasing the money. But also, I just feel like, I mean, hopefully it's somewhat of a healthy coping mechanism. But like, that's like we were saying, like, that's just kind of how I escape my
working.
Yes.
Oh, like, no, it's,
you know,
I will say it depends what your job is, because you don't want to be too invested in your job, but it's not like you are working off the clock all the time too. Like, you do enjoy time out, and you do go out at night and like hang out with people. It's not like you're completely hermit and like you don't go out, you know? And that's why I know it's healthy from your standpoint, is because you just like working because it keeps you busy in the time where, you know, you don't want to work. And it's actually funny that we're thinking about, I don't want to go too much into this, but I'm watching a TV show. It's called Severance. And if you guys have watched it, you know, leave a comment what you think of it. I love the show. Season 1 just finished up. It was on Apple TV. But basically the premise of the show is for you get a severance chip inside your brain for 8 hours a day. You don't remember what you do at work in your home life. And then at your home life, you don't remember what you do at work. So just kind of a crazy concept. I'll leave it at that. If you've seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't, like you gotta watch that because it's so good. Along with Stranger Things season 4, unbelievable.
Unfortunately, I haven't even watched one episode of Stranger Things yet. But for the Severance, it's funny though, because like that whole, you forget your work life at work and you keep your home life at home. But so whatever you do with your work wife, you kind of just keep that there, and with your real wife,
you can't remember anything, so it's not like it's cheating, right?
Right, exactly. But
no, that's terrible.
But the show I've been watching. So I'm not huge into shows. It's like I really have to be into it.
Because I end up binging them. If I watch one episode and I really like it, I'll binge the entire series. So that's like an unhealthy thing because it takes time away from productivity.
So what I've been pretty much binging is The Boys. You know, I've heard about it a lot. People have always told me, you know, oh, you should watch this show. Like, I'm wicked into the superhero stuff. And when they told me the kind of the concept of the show, and, you know, I've seen stuff on social media and stuff about it, but once I actually started the first episode, like right off the rip, like 3-4 minutes in, it just sucks you in. And so I binged the first 2 seasons in like 2 days.
Police show?
No, a superhero show.
Oh.
But the superheroes are like...
When you think of The Boys, you think of cops. So like that's why it's like very stereotypical.
It's like what if superheroes were treated as celebrities, and they're kind of all run by like these superheroes have like a marketing department, like a PR.
Oh wow!
Like it's almost like
so
a
it's
business.
Like they're like athletes almost.
Pretty much. Yeah. Like they have.
It's probably a bad comparison, but
But I mean, kind of. You know, when you see one come by, oh my God, can I get your autograph? Blah, blah. And it's like, some of them treat the fame and attention as like a good thing, and some of them just like abuse the shit out of it. Yeah. But bro, it's so like, it's funny. It's like gory. Like it shows like
how you. What platform is it?
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
So it shows like how you think superheroes would actually be in like the real world, as opposed to like, you know, everything's perfect. The hero always saves the day. There's never any like casualties and stuff. But I'm on the 3rd season now. I kind of put it off for a while because it's like the 3rd season's the most recent one. So I'm like, damn, like I finished the first 2 in like 2 days. If I finish the 3rd one now, what do I have to look forward to? But
well, there's plenty of other TV shows.
But that's the thing, man. I like this one just sucked me in. So it's just like getting the mindset to be like, all right, I'll give this show a shot.
Yeah, but and this one has already taken so much from me. Yeah. I was just that's like, how it is. Yeah, I feel like that's how it goes when it comes down to TV shows. Yeah. Yeah, if there's any TV shows that you guys are watching in the comments, let us know. Yeah, but moving on, I guess we'll go into a little bit of, I guess, what I've been thinking about recently, just because being away from the environment that I spent Monday through Friday in for a very long time, it made me think about how important the environment that you hang out in or you live in is so important. So obviously, like I said, I went to Maine last weekend, and that environment in itself just brought me away from, you know, thinking so small-minded and like, you know, you're everybody's a product of their environment, but it's truly up to you to get yourself out of that environment, see new things, try new places. And I think that's important for everybody, just because change, as scary as it seems, it's so important. It's so good for you. Just like the little things and stuff like that. Like even on a small note, like I changed my gym, and like that has been such a change, just mentally, physically. Yeah. Just even
just the atmosphere as a whole, right?
I felt like I was always being looked at the old gym.
Okay.
Like, not in a bad way, but just like people knew who I was. Now I feel like I'm invisible. Like, not even just invisible. People can look at you and they're just like, everybody's doing your thing. Like, you don't care about that shit. It's not like, oh, that person's the manager, or like that person like I see that person at the desk or anything like that. And I guess maybe I should have started working out at a gym that I didn't work at in the first place, but
it's just more convenient.
It's more convenient now that I have a gym that I don't workout that I can work out at, and it's closer to my house. So,
Yeah.
like I said, environments aside, like that's been my favorite part of just change, is just trying new things, trying a new environment, and stuff like that. So,
And I feel like this kind of goes along with something we recently talked about in one of our other podcasts, like your friend groups and stuff like that. So I feel like we all surround ourselves with people who have the same goals or have the same mindset, which is why, we kind of took a shot on this. So going along with like the environment, obviously the gym for you and I is like one of the bigger two. Like we surround ourselves with that kind of culture. Just like investing in ourselves, investing in our health, which I do think is one of the most important things that you can ever do in your life, is just to invest in yourself. Like I said, taking a shot with this, we tried it out for 5 episodes, and then we were like, all right, like we've gotten the feedback from people we know, people who have watched, and we were like, all right, so how can we invest in this even more? And that's when, you and I did some research. We got new equipment, like we always said we were going to do. It's more so the follow through, that us following through with those promises to ourselves. You can say it so often, but it doesn't matter until you actually do it. So people who hold you accountable, I know you and I definitely hold each other accountable for stuff. So here we are. We invested in ourselves, and we're just gonna kind of keep growing. It's all about growth, and I need to learn to get on the travel mindset and kind of escape.
Even if it's just like Maine, that's a car trip. Like, don't even hop on a flight. Like,
no.
Flights aside, like New York City, like Maine,
3 hour, like these nice 3-4 hour little trips.
Great places around here, and that's kind of what I was thinking. When I was out there, I was really like, as much as everybody would enjoy being here, that's why I was kind of like, maybe we should get a spot next year. I was like, Matt would enjoy this. I was like, Matt would like just enjoy being away from his life, because I know me and you, like we just constantly in our own heads. So like being out of your head for a bit is amazing. It's just it's a great feeling. And once I got back, I didn't get back in my head, but you're in that environment again.
You get
and that's why it's
again.
kind of saying you know the streets, you know where you're at. So it's like,
I feel like when you're away in this foreign kind of area, you don't have time to be in your own head, because it's like you're adjusting to all this new stimulus, like new landscapes, new restaurants, new people, stuff like that. So, and I love nature. Like I love looking at sights and stuff like that. So it's like to see something. I know Maine has its parts, so I would love to see the world, but it's
so much to see, man.
It's that first hurdle,
Yeah, much to see, and you don't like flying, so there's a lot that you gotta figure out. But I will say, like, coming back to like when we talked about episode 5, season 1 with Sobi, like he kind of said he felt like he was on vacation, or he feels like he's on vacation the whole time that he's there, and that's kind of what kind of feeling I would have if you're in a different environment for a little period of time. He hasn't been there for a long time, so shout out Sobi. But yeah, like that's just a different kind of point of view where it's coming from, I would say. But other than that, I guess like investing in this was my next big hurdle in life, because obviously it's money. And it had nothing to do with the money. It more so had to do with the fact that, were we actually going to follow through? Were we actually going to, put money into this, invest in it, and then start making the podcast? So
I feel like it's once you spend the money, that's when like, okay, I just put in all this money into what we're trying to do. Once you actually have the equipment and stuff like that, or have whatever you have that you purchased, you're more inclined to follow through with it, because you just spent, like I said, your hard-earned money. So it's not like you're going to spend all that money, like good money. It's not like it's cheap. You're spending good money, and you're not going to let it collect dust on the side of your room.
It's like going to the gym, and then right after hitting McDonald's, like you just countered what you did. Like, especially if you just did some cardio and you worked your ass off on abs and all that shit, McDonald's is just going to counter what you just did. So that's how I feel about this. If like I let this shit just collect dust in here, nothing's going to happen. And I got to say, like, all I needed was like, another person to hold me accountable as well. I know, like, we have everybody in our group, and everybody in our group is very, very, like, important to the vision as a whole. But Matt and me, we really just try to really do as much as we possibly can every single day to think about the next step, and we talk about it with each other almost every day. So I think that's important to have, and it's really, really special. And I think that once you have something like that, the sky's the limit, because that's not the job that you guys are working on day by day. This is just a job that we want to make our lifestyle into. So yeah.
Being able to accept that harsh criticism too, you know, without getting mad at each other or getting mad at the group if they suggest something that kind of goes against what your idea of something was. Yeah. So being able to kind of take that with a grain of salt, as they say, whatever that means. I never got that phrase, but
it's just like small, like take it as small as possible. I don't know. It's something like that.
Okay. But yeah, so I mean,
all memes. I mean, I was gonna say all metaphors aside.
Yes.
Let's move into what I
sports.
think. Well, I mean, sports is.
I just think the KD thing, right? Is
yeah.
I keep on hearing more things about KD.
I think it was a false.
Boston.
It was a false report.
Yeah.
Because why would the Celtics do that after they literally just made moves to deepen their roster? Like, they're not going to get rid of players that just got them, you know, like Jalen. They're not going to get rid of Jalen. Like, yeah. I just don't see it happening. And I see a lot of people like, oh, this needs to happen. The Celtics will just be mediocre until then. Like, Jalen Brown's 25 years old.
That's what I was
33.
Saying.
Like, this man just got his Achilles torn 2 years ago. He's had probably arguably, like, not a great last season. Like, he played well up until the playoffs. But you don't take a gamble on that. So
I was gonna say, well, you have.
I wasn't even gonna bring it up because I was like, fuck it, let's not give him the fucking clicks, man. I'm sick of that shit.
Right. I was gonna say, you have such like a young talent on the team right now, and you would want to, you know, you would think that you would want to continue to grow with that, as opposed to giving that up to somebody else for someone who is at the end of their career almost. You know, whether or not he can score or not. It's about longevity, I think.
And nobody thinks this, but, like, I believe the Celtics are winning a championship with this squad. I think Leak's the only one that believes in that statement, too. Maybe Nate does, but, you know, he goes flip-floppy, so I don't know. But I truly believe that the Celtics can win with this squad. So, I mean, I think we'll get more NBA coverage as time goes on. NFL is coming up, and I know both of us are not huge on, like, NFL information, but hopefully we'll have, you know, somebody on that can explain a little bit about what's going on with the NFL, a preview to what's to come, stuff like that. But yeah, sports aside, there hasn't been really much going on. It's the summer, it's baseball, and I don't really fuck with baseball as much. So I
Big Poppy in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
so
that's
shout
important.
Out to him. Patriots training camp. That's about it.
Yeah, so. I saw Devontae Parker catch a touchdown. So that's nice, but, you know, it's training camp. So.
Yeah. Do it in the game. Billy B saying that Mac Jones has come a long way since last season, so it's his sophomore year. So if Bill Belichick is giving him
believer?
Honestly, I am, because
I am too. I don't know what the hate is.
He came in so much stronger than Cam did, and it was only his first year in the pros.
He was a third string to two really great quarterbacks at Alabama. Like, Jalen Hurts, who plays for Philly now, and then Tua, who plays for the Dolphins. Like, I'm not saying they were better than him, but in college with that system, yes, they were better than him at the time. I'm sure maybe they got the reps, you know, but he's getting the reps now as a New England Patriot, and that's where I would want the reps if I was a quarterback in the league.
And if Bill Belichick was tooting my horn like that, my ego would be through the roof. Hopefully he knows to kind of keep it level and just continue to grow. You know, it's his second year in the NFL, and I loved his first year compared to when Cam played for us.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand watching the Patriots when Cam played.
I wasn't a huge fan of Cam, and it had nothing to do with his, like,
character.
Yeah, like, his character was just his character. Like, I knew we were getting Cam. He just wasn't. He's not good at throwing the ball. What terrible.
Yeah. It was embarrassing.
But yeah, I mean, we'll talk more football as it goes on. Like, I think that's an exciting part of years when football kind of starts, NBA starts up again, and stuff like that. We do have some idiots in the news, and I do have a jingle this time, so let's get ready.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Idiot! What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Yeah,
We got a jingle?
new jingle. Yeah,
That was a surprise to me. I did not know that.
he'll hear it on the post. I added in post, so
I'm so excited. All right. We're back in the grand state of, can you guess?
Florida.
We're back in Florida, baby. Nate just came back from Florida, actually. So
Yeah,
he
Nate
went
was
down
at
to
Rolling Loud. Maybe we'll have him on to discuss his little his journey because I saw it through Snapchat and it looked good. You know,
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Florida man attempts to break into Space Force base to warn of alien dragon space war.
So, is the war going on? Is that what you're trying to let them know?
No, he's trying to warn people like,
That the
be
war
ready.
is coming?
It's imminent.
Does he know when?
He must.
You
He's
wanna-
got this information,
Maybe we should call him on the show one time.
right?
Get him on here
I don't
and
know
talk
if-
some of that business.
I don't know if we can reach
Dude,
him
what's going on with
from
the
his
space
jail
dra-
cell. Wait till you find what kind of dragons they are. Ready?
Okay.
So a Florida man was arrested in Florida. He was told, or it was said that he stole a truck to kind of go to the military base to let people know.
What do you need the truck for if he's just the messenger?
He must
Paul
not,
Revere had a horse.
he must not have had transportation. He didn't hop on his alligator and. So Corey Johnson.
That's the worst Florida joke I've ever heard in my life.
Corey Johnson, 29. His mugshot looks like he's about 47. So
29.
yeah, it did. Oh my God.
It's a little
You
too
can
early
look it
for
up.
a midlife
Obviously,
crisis.
once this comes up, look
Yeah,
up the article.
We'll leave the article link in the description.
But so he told Brevard County's sheriff deputies on Friday that he took a Ford F-150 pickup because if you're gonna go to a military base, a space base, you got to use the F-150.
Built tough.
And what is it? Without the owner's permission, so he pretty much stole the truck and drove to Patrick Space Force Base. Mr. Johnson claimed that President Biden himself told him to steal the vehicle and to go to the base to warn of the upcoming battle between not just any type of dragons, Chinese dragons, and U.S. aliens. Not. So we have a nation thing right now. Chinese dragons. And not just any aliens.
So wait,
U.S.
So
aliens.
they were from China, or China made these aliens? Like, I gotta see. I need to know his reasoning. So,
Chinese dragons must be different than.
is there a China in space that we don't know about? Is that what he's trying to?
Maybe it's like
implying?
a space race. Like
You know, there's Chinatown in New York, Boston, everything. There's probably Chinatown up in Mars over there.
but so I mean, ultimately he was arrested, faces charges for grand theft of a motor vehicle.
How long?
So they don't. The
Oh,
post doesn't go into it.
And he has to await trial and all that shit.
Probably
So, like,
so. Chinese dragons and U.S. aliens.
and don't forget the first sentence of that whole story, Florida man. So let's never forget. If you guys ever want to do something fun, look up your birthday and then look up Florida man and then your birthday. I guarantee there's a story that's kind of wild. I know I think mine was something crazy like Florida man drives car into lake to avoid ticket or something like that. And I was like, that doesn't.
I'll have to do that.
That doesn't sound.
That sounds fun. My question is, who are you taking?
What the
Chinese dragons
or the
or
US,
US?
aliens? Honestly, man, that's so U.S. aliens. Like, if they're as dumb as U.S. citizens, I'm gonna say no. So I'm gonna say
They've been so indoctrinated.
And I'm
by
saying that as a U.S. citizen, just disclaimer, I am from the USA, just not a fan of how our country is,
relax,
moving right now.
people.
Yeah, relax. We're not gonna get controversial on the podcast right now. Maybe when there's an election coming up, we'll get a little controversial. No, we're keeping that to the side. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Chinese dragon just because I don't know what kind of potential they have, and I feel like that's something we need to see.
I'd say Chinese dragons as well. You ever watch Avatar, the Last Airbender?
The show, right? Like
Yeah.
the cartoon. Yeah, I've seen it.
So they got that's how I picture. There's this episode when Aang and Zuko go to visit these ancient dragons, and you stereotypically think of a Chinese dragon. Do you know
Well,
You ever see like Mushu from Mulan?
I think of like if I go out to a Chinese restaurant
Right.
and they have like the place
dragon
mats
stick,
and it's
right,
like the dragon. Yeah, like
just
shit
think
like
of Mulan like
Yeah.
Mushu,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like 10 times
Yeah.
bigger than him.
that. So, damn,
U.S.
I don't want to go
aliens.
on. I don't want to go on a whole like. We'll talk TV shows next week, but I'm excited for Stranger Things season 5 because apparently
like
it's
2
going to be
years.
like a 3-headed dragon as like
Really?
the big villain that they're going to face. But that's just a theory, you know.
Right,
so
right.
we'll talk more about TV shows, but yeah, this was honestly just like an intro to season 2.
Yeah.
We're excited to bring you guys some more episodes. Next week we'll have a guest with us, and we'll shoot the shit with them and
Bringing some new faces on board.
Yeah, we
so.
definitely have a guest list going. And if you do want to be on the podcast and you're from the area and you think you can talk business and want to share your story or just share anything, let us know.
Give us your insight,
Yeah.
on life.
Yeah, like
because that's what we're about.
We're for the people. Like we'll say that time and time again. So thank you guys for watching and listening.
Drop your handle.
Yeah, CB Lights Out on the mic.
Mine is Matty Y, spelled WHYLOC. So I think it's actually Matt Y. Sorry, Matt WHYLOC. Yeah.
Or you can hit him up at Matty Y 1996. He's trying to spread 2 accounts right now, which is tough. So I'll always put both accounts in the description. But yeah, we're not going to ramble on too much longer. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.
See you next week, guys.